We're back with another episode of Chatting with Staxx. And my guest is Anthony Luciano Ramundi.
Carmine Sessa sent two of his idiot brothers to do a hit on a guy. The guy had a lunch wagon truck, the lunch wagon trucks?
Yeah.
And the guy had numbers, horses, sports, shot out of the truck. The truck was basically a front for his business. Well, his two idiot brothers went and they killed the wrong guy. Okay? His brothers go on the lam. One thing leads to another. Carmine's involved in killing guys also. And what happens, they all get pinched. They had a meeting in Manhattan on St. Patrick's Cathedral on the steps. They all go there. FBI comes because everybody went to hide and rounds them all up. Boom.
Yeah.
They all go to MCC. Next morning, when they open the cells, everybody comes out except Carmine Sessa. I says, where's Carmine? Where's Carmine? The guy who was in the cell with him says, oh, they took him out of here about 2 o'clock this morning. Right off the top of your knew, he gave every fucking body up. But did anybody yell at Teddy because he brought him around and he vouched for him? No. Why? Because he's Carmine's brother.
Yeah, but he should have got clipped for that.
No, Uncle Teddy, he did a lot of time, and he was only home about maybe 2 years.
So
then he passed away.
If you bring a rat around, if you bring around somebody and they rat on everybody, do you get clipped for bringing the rat around, or is it only when you bring a FBI informant around, like
you're responsible for the guy? You're responsible for him, and whatever judgment they pass on you, they're going to pass. So, in other words, 99% of the time, you're going to disappear.
Just like the Donnie Brasco situation with Lefty.
Yeah, because the reason why, they figure it this way. You brought this guy around. He ratted on everybody. Now he ratted on you. You might turn around and join him and rat on us. So we get rid of you. There's no connection between there, and they get rid of you. Yeah, and they don't give a fuck one way or the other. They don't care one way or the other. They don't care. It's a lot of nepotism and a lot of my cousin, my uncle, my aunt's husband. That's what it is over there.
Yeah.
Then it shouldn't be. It should not be. Guys who earn the position should get the position, not give it to somebody because he's related to you through blood or whatever the situation is. It's not the way it goes. It doesn't go that way at all.
Yeah, you got to work your way to that position.
And 3/4 of them never worked their way. Never worked their way. Now, I got another story. It took place in 1977. Remember Jerry Lang? Jerry Langella?
Yep.
All right. I was going to the Desiree Club on West 6th Street between Kings Highway and Quentin Road. Guy Joe Z had it. He was with Christy Tick. So I'm in there one night, rather. I was always there because I had a house on West 6th Street. And I see two guys from Christy Tick's crew come in with their wives. And these guys' wives were drop dead gorgeous, but they were always ladies, you know what I'm saying? And these guys were two made guys, and they were always gentlemen. With that, I see Jerry Lang's son comes in, Vincent, with two of his cousins. Now, Vincent, nice kid, but he thought who the fuck he was because of his father and his uncle. So the two guys that were in there, somebody walked over to them, and I remember I was not too far from them, and they were talking, and they told their wives, excuse us. She said, yeah, right, go talk. I told Uncle Sammy Machine to give the ladies a drink on me. Hi, Anthony, good. How you been? Good. Okay, enjoy your drink. Vincent walks over to them and his two cousins, and he's talking to them. And I see the girl gets up and see the girl, she's standing there, and she smacks him in the face. Now I get up out of my chair because he had to say something to her. At the same time, these two guys come walking back. So I stop. They start talking. Vincent tries to hit the guy with a bottle. The guy winds up clocking Vincent, hitting it. Boom, he fucking cracks him. The cousins are hitting these guys with bottles, a big ruckus. I walk over. I break it up. I said, Vincent, you get the fuck out of the club. Now, Joe Z's over there. He looked at me, Joe Z. He didn't say 2 words. Now, I had nothing to do with the club yet. Get the fuck out of the club. Well, you see, they listen to me. I don't know what the fuck he said to the girl, but the girl got up and smacked it. I know the girl. And she wouldn't hit you in the face for nothing. Get the fuck out of the club. I hang out here. I don't need no fucking problems. Get out. They leave. Well, you close up the club about, I don't know, 8 o'clock in the morning. I go home. About 8:30, my phone rings. It's my cousin Mac. He goes, come to my house. We got to go below. He goes, there's a problem. I said, let me take a shower. He goes, all right, go ahead and then come pick me up. Took a shower, got dressed, pick him up. I said, what's going on? He goes, there was a problem last night in Desiree. So I said, what problem? Now, I'm not thinking about these guys here.
Yeah.
He goes, Christy Tick's men were there. There was a problem. I says, wait a minute, Mac. He says, whatever you got to say. He says, don't tell me now. He says, wait till we get in there. I walk into the dip. Now we're talking. I get there. We got there. It was about 10 o'clock. There's Christy with two of his guys, Alley Boy, Jerry Lang, Scappy, me and my cousin Mac. He says, so they called me in. They says, listen, Pluto, this is what happened last night. My son Vincent was in there with two of his cousins. Two of the guys from Christie's crew, they got into a fight with them. And these guys over there, they pulled guns on them and they threatened them. They said they were going to kill them, that they knew where they lived. And I'm listening to this, and Christy Tick is there.
It's a bunch of bullshit.
And he says, you got to handle it. That's what he's talking about. He says, like this with the hand. He goes, take them out. The both guys. They threatened my son. Now, Christy Tick was there. He gave the okay. I says, wait a minute, Jerry. I said, that's not true. He says, what are you talking about? I said, I was there. So now everybody's looking at me. I said, I was there. I said, I'm the one who threw your son and your two nephews out of the club. He says, what happened? I said, the two guys, Christy's guys, they walked away. They were talking with somebody. The two wives were there. Vincent walks over with his cousins. One guy says something. They said something. The girl got up and smacked him in the face. As she smacked him, the two guys come back over. They approach Vincent and them. Your son tried to hit the guy with a fucking bottle, with a beer bottle. Your other nephew did catch the guy in the back end. A fight broke out. I broke it up and I told him to get out. Vincent and his cousins were saying, give me a blowjob. I'll give you $50 for a blowjob. Let me fuck you for 100. These girls were gorgeous. I said, They didn't threaten your nephew. They didn't threaten your son, no nothing. So Alley Boy turns around and he says, call your son up and get him down here now. I said, but don't tell him Pluto's here. He says, no, Alley Boy said, call him up and get your son down here now. And Jerry said, I'm not going to tell him here. I said, no, don't tell him I'm here, Jerry. I said, I want to hear what he's got to tell you. I said, get your nephews to come down. Alley Boy told him. So he told Vincent, get down here now. Bring your two cousins with you. So we're waiting for him to come down. I go behind the bar. After about 20 minutes, I go behind the bar and I'm making myself a drink. Now it's like fucking 11 o'clock, quarter after 11 in the morning. I'm saying, fuck it. It's a weekend. I'm going to start drinking anyway. What's the big fucking deal? I'm making a drink. Who comes walking in? I see Vincent with his two cousins. He don't see me. I'm behind the bar. So sit down. Tell Christy Tick what happened. Well, you know, I was in the thing. I was at the club last night. And you guys came over and started in with us. And they pulled the guns and they did this. So I come walking up from behind the bar and I'm standing behind him. I said, Vincent, you want to tell me the story again, Vincent? I said, I'd like to hear what you just said. He turned around and it's because they looked at me. They turned like fucking milk. They went white. I said, Vincent, you're forgetting to tell your father I was in the club last night? Are you forgetting to tell him that I'm the one who threw you out of the club and broke up the fight? I says, now tell me, Vincent, let me hear from your mouth exactly what happened.
And his heart dropped probably.
Goes, well, you know, we were drinking and the night's a little hazy. It's a little foggy. So Chrissy just looked at me. He didn't say a word. So Allie Boy turns around and he says, oh, now you're foggy and you're hazy because you were drinking. But before you said that these guys threatened you, they pulled guns. They said they knew where you lived. Says, Vincent, what is it, Vincent? Which one is it? His two cousins didn't even open up their mouth. Well, we were drinking. He says, end the story. Jerry says, you, and you. He goes, go down to Monty's. I'll be there in a little while. Jerry had to apologize to Christy Tick. Yeah, you know, when an underboss has to apologize to the consigliere of another family, you know what that fucker looks like.
Not good.
It's done. But Christy was friends with all of us. We were all friends. Everything was done. Christy goes, I want to thank you. Christy, look, I was there. I'm not going to let two guys get clipped for nothing, especially if they gave me the contract to take the fucking two guys out. I said, he says, you're going to be at the club tonight? And she says, wait. He goes, you're going to go to Desiree? I said, yeah. He goes, I'm going to be there 11 o'clock tonight. He goes, meet me there. It's all right. Usually I would get to Desiree maybe 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. I walk in at 11 o'clock. Josie's, hey, what's going on? All right. He said he heard what happened. Everybody knew what happened already by that nighttime. He says, what are you doing there so early? So I'm supposed to meet Christy here. Christy comes in. Excuse me. He says, you two know each other? He says, yeah. He goes, Anthony, I got 50% of this place. I says, right, I know. He goes, I'm giving it to you.
Really?
I looked at him. You know what? He goes, I'm giving it to you. And Joe Z looked at him too. I says, Christy, you know what you're saying? He goes, you saved two guys that are very close to me from getting taken out. He goes, you told the truth. And you saved these two guys who are very dear to me. You saved their lives. He goes, you have my 50% of this place. So he tells Joe Z, he goes, Joe, you got a problem with that? Joe says, are you kidding me? He goes, Anthony's here every freaking night anyway. He goes, me and him get along. He goes, great. That's how I became a partner in the place.
Yeah.
I would go to Christie every maybe once, twice a month, give him an envelope to thank him. Wouldn't take no money from me. That's all right. I says, I go, that's what I used to do. I go to my jeweler, I get a piece of jewelry, like for his wife or one of the kids. Christy, listen. He go, no, I don't. I said, listen, this is for your wife. It's a thank you from me to you. Give it to your wife. I said, you got to accept it. And that's what he would do. He would accept that every now and then. I would bring him something like that for either one of the kids, his grandchildren, his children, or his wife, like a piece of jewelry. And I said, you got to give it to me. Can't turn it down.
Yeah.
So he never took no cash from me, Christy. Never took no cash. Man was unbelievable.
Whatever happened to him? Whatever happened to him?
Christy passed away last year, I think it was.
Yeah.
It was 92. 92 when he died. He lived quite a while. He did a lot of time, Christy, but he was a good man. He was a good man. Because he had the 19th hole. It was on 86th Street and 14th Avenue. There was a bar, 19th hole. Because it was because it was right across from the golf course. So that's why they called it the 19th hole. I used to go up there every Wednesday and every Friday. I used to go up there. I used to see him, a couple of guys. There was a friend of mine, Tato Beldeo. I used to meet him up there because he was with them. Christie was aces as far as I'm concerned. He was unbelievable. Yeah. Always a gentleman. Always looked at both sides of something when it was going to happen. And he never gave a problem with it. I know we had there was a guy, back in 19. Let me think. I got pinched again in 82. It was around 1980, about 1981, 1982. About 1981, 1982, there was a thing. There was a guy, Jerry Gerard. He was around Paulie Vario. And they made him. And we used to go to a place called the Penthouse on 86th Street between 4th and 5th Avenue. It was this guy, Ali Shades. He's still around. It was Ali Shades' joint.
I heard of him.
And they had a small parking lot. So he had a brand new fucking Cadillac. Brand new. And he was, showing it off. And he goes up there and he parks and I'm in there. We're all laughing and joking, having a good time. So we come out and there's this young girl and she's trying to get out the parking space. She's backing up. She's very careful the way she's backing up. I mean, all she did was what we call kiss his bumper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like you could stick a piece of paper there. He comes out, you fucking whore, you cunt, you hit my fucking car. That's my new car. And Jerry, take it easy. Fuck this cunt. The girl gets out of the car. She's apologizing now, the girl.
Yeah.
I think she come out and tell him to go fuck his mother or something, but she's apologizing. That he goes, you're lucky I don't get you on, put you on your knees and make you suck my dick here in front of everybody. I said, Jerry, watch your mouth. Stop the shit. It's a young girl. The fuck's wrong with you? I don't give a fuck. I'm a friend. I'm a made guy. I say what the fuck I want. I do it. I said, Jerry, you better watch your fucking mouth. The girl starts crying. So I turned around. I said, Jerry, you don't know if she's somebody. I don't give a fuck if she's somebody's daughter, somebody's nephew. Let them come to me. I'll fucking straighten them out. I said, Jerry, get the fuck out. I said, get the fuck away from me. So I said, you don't get away from me, Jerry. I said, I'll fucking kick your fucking balls in right now. He goes, well, I'm a friend. I said, yeah, and I'm an enforcer. I said, remember that. I'm higher than you. Remember those fucking words when I'm telling you. Now get the fuck away. The girl's crying. I calm her down. I said, listen. Come on. I said, you want a drink before you go? And just come in and get you. I'll have somebody bring a drink. No, I want to get. I said, all right, listen. Just get outside your car. I said, let me take the car out. I back out the car for her, put her in the car. I said, you sure you're all right to go home? She's thanking me to no end, this girl. I said, you sure you're all right to go home? She says, yeah. I said, look, if you want a drink or something, I'll get somebody to go with you. I said, no. I said, okay. Just be careful when you go home. Girl goes home. I get out of the you get out of the penthouse and I go down to Desiree, go down to the club. Jerry Gerard's he's already there. I said, that fucking jerk off. And Josie goes, what's the matter? So I told Josie what happened. He goes, what's this guy? Stupid in the fucking head? I said, I know. He's young. He's a made guy and everything. I said, he's with Paulie Vario. What the fuck's wrong with this fucking guy? I said, he's lucky. I almost put a fucking hole in him at the place I told him what happened. Now, the night goes on. All right, the club closed. I go home. I get another fucking call. 8 o'clock in the fucking morning, 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Get down here. We got to speak to you. That was a famous line to me. Get down here. We got to speak to you. They call me every fucking time, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. Listen, this is what happened, blah, 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 at the penthouse. I said, yeah, I was there. You're the one who helped out the girl. The girl described you. We knew it was you. Go see the Gambino people. It's okay. Get dressed. I go see the Gambino people. The Gambinos themselves. All right, the real Gambino, not the people who rent, the Gambinos themselves. Anthony, I want to thank you for what you did to my niece, for what you did for my niece. I says, oh, you got to be fucking kidding me. I said, John, it's your niece? He says, yeah. And I'm saying, this fucking Jerry don't know what the fuck he done. He says, listen. He goes, I appreciate everything you've done. I said, okay. And he says, realize, he said, I said, no, John, look, I won't stand for that. He goes, tell this guy, keep his fucking mouth shut. I'll let it slide because he didn't know who she was. Tell him, keep his fucking mouth shut. Stop saying he's going to do this to us and do that to us. Otherwise, he's going to have a problem. Tell him, and he's going to have a problem that he'll never recover from. That's I'll take care of it. I see him that night. I said, Jerry, come here. Let me talk to you. So I told him what happened, who I went to see and who she was. I don't give a fuck. I'll fucking kill them all. I'm a fucking made guy. Paulie back me up, and he's going on and on and on.
Yeah.
I says, this guy's out of his fucking mind. So I see Paulie, and I told Paulie what's going on. Paulie goes, I'll talk to him. Well, Paulie spoke to him. I don't give a fuck who they are. I'm going to do this to them. I'm going to do that to them. I'm going to kill them. Then I'm going to fuck their wives, their daughters. Now it gets back to them. Now I get a call. All right. This time I didn't get a call 8 o'clock in the morning. I got a call 3 o'clock in the morning. I go and meet the guy. He says, listen, we appreciate everything you did, but this cocksucker, he's out of line. He's out of hand. He says nobody, because not even Paulie can control him. So I understand. He says, Anthony, don't go to bat for him no more. I said, no problem. I leave. The whole week goes by. Now it's a Friday, and I'm sitting in the club. I'm sitting in the car service because by Desiree we had a car service. That when it was Desiree car service, you walked in the car service. I had a back room, and then that back room there's another door that went into the club. So that was cool the way I had it set up. So me and Joe were sitting there, and he went down. He had to do something in the club. 2 guys come in. They look at me. Hey, Anthony, I said, I'm doing all right. Look, he says, you got to do us a favor. If I can, sure. When Jerry comes to the club, whether it's tonight or tomorrow, don't let him in. He says, no problem. That's all they said. We appreciate it. Thank you. And off they go. Now you got to remember, all the while this is going on, I'm out on bail. I'm on parole. It was just before I took the second pinch, so I still got parole that I'm on while all this shit's going on. I want you to know.
Yeah.
Now I tell Josie, I said, listen, Jerry comes tonight to the club. Don't let him in. He says, all right. He says, all right. I said, somebody came to you. He goes, no problem. Now, Jerry Gerard comes in that night, parks his car across the street in front of the post office. He's walking like this across the street, strutting his stuff. And all of a sudden, he caught the two guys out of the corner of his eye coming towards him. He's running to the door and he's banging on the door to the car service, screaming. I went like this. Mm-hmm. He runs to the door of the club, banging on the door. They didn't open it up. He runs around the corner on Quentin Road, jumps in somebody's gate. You know, they had a little gate in the front of the house.
Yeah.
Why the fuck he jumped in the gate, I don't know. I would have kept on fucking running if I was him. These two guys caught him there and they whacked him right there. Now, they kill him. You heard the gunshots and I said, don't let nobody out of the club. These two guys took off. Don't know who these two guys were who did the work, but it's got nothing to do with me. I told Josie, don't let nobody out of the club. Within 3 minutes, there was fucking cop cars all over the fucking place, detectives and everything.
Yeah.
So, fuck. I says, nobody's leaving the club. No, we got nobody. I told everybody, listen, something happened around the corner. You can't go out. There's a ton of cops. We'll all get pinched. So everybody said, I says, you know what? Joe says, you know what? Let's give him the drinks for nothing. I says, as of right now, everybody pay up your tab right now. After that, drinks are on the house for all the time we're here. Oh, everybody loved that. So they were fine.
Yeah.
So me and Josie go out. We walk out the car service. And there's a cop car here, detective car, and there's a space. Guy pulls up with a fucking Lincoln, parks in between a cop car and a detective in front of my fucking joint now. Now you see there's ambulances, there's reporters and everything. Two guys get out with their girlfriends, walk over there banging on the door. I said, look at these two motherfuckers.
It's the same guys.
I said, oh, jerk off. Oh, Andy. I know you fucking stupid in your fucking head.
It's the same guys.
Do you see you got 1 million cop cars here? Detective, this fucking get the fuck out of here. Oh, well, get the fuck out of here before you make them take you two guys away in an ambulance and your fucking girlfriends. They get in the car and they take off. Now I pull out a cigar, I'm lighting a cigar, and Josie goes like this to me. He goes like this. I turn around. This guy was in a white shirt, stars on the shoulder, the blue pants with the gumshoe shoes and the whole fucking 9 yards and the cap. And he's walking over to me. And he's looking at me. I say, Joe, I'm going to get fucking pinched. He says, don't worry. He goes, I'll call your cousin. We'll get the lawyer. Guy walks up to me. He goes to me, are you Eddie's friend? I just looked at him. I didn't say nothing. He goes, are you Eddie's friend? So I looked. Fucking, so me and Joe look at each other. He goes, I'm going to ask you one more time. Are you Eddie's friend? Then it clicked in my head. He was talking about Ed Koch. I'll get to the story about Ed Koch in a minute. I says, yeah. He says, don't worry about it. He goes, you're Anthony, right? I says, yeah. He goes, don't worry about it. Let anybody want in or out. I'm letting people in and out of the club. There's a dead body around the fuck corner. They're doing investigations. They're tells off the fucking street. Everybody's out of the club about 8 o'clock in the morning. They're still cleaning up the site. I tell them, listen, anytime you want to come here, you, your wife, or your girlfriend, or a couple of your friends with their girls or wives, I says, you're more than welcome here. I said, it's on the house. I said, no, I appreciate it. Said, thanks, Liza, but I just wanted to make sure you're Eddie's friend. I said, yeah.